From Wood TV, this is 24-Hour News 8, live from the Media Arts Center in downtown Grand Rapids.
Just like we all expected, right? The Lions won. You heard it. The Lions win.
Never a doubt. An upset victory tonight in prime time over Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. You watched it live right here on Wood TV 8. And coming up, we're going to take you live to Ford Field for all the post-game reaction. Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Sterling.
And I'm Marley Ginter. We will get you live to Detroit in just a few minutes, but we want to begin tonight with some breaking news.
This is a breaking news alert from 24-Hour News 8.
This is happening right now. Grand Rapids police have an area surrounded on the northeast side of the city. This is right near Leonard and Emerald.
And that's where we find 24-Hour News 8's Leon Hendricks. He's there live with what we know right now. Leon?
Brian and Marley, good evening to both of you. This situation's been going on for about an hour now. We've seen a number of police officers get involved in this scene. Initial reports were that a man was in the area with the gun, and police believe that he may have gone into an apartment here in this area. So that is why we see this manpower here. Leonard Street is shut down in both directions as they want to keep the public safe here. As you can see, there are a number of police cruisers taking part in blocking off the street and having a perimeter set up. Now, a short time ago, we did hear some yelling. They were yelling, Grand Rapids police, clearly trying to get someone to come out of the building here, but so far that has not happened. Now, we do believe this is centered at the apartment complex here right near Leonard and Emerald. We believe that there are several apartments in this building, and the police say that the suspect appears to have gone into one of the units there. We've seen an increase in police manpower since we've gotten here, and that may very well continue. If this does indeed turn into a standoff situation, generally you will see the SWAT team and other police resources arrive. But of course, that takes time to gather those together, and that may be where we are in this process at this point. But right now, it's an ongoing situation. You'll want to stay away from Leonard on the northeast side. The streets shut down in both directions as police search for a suspect. We will keep you posted on what happens at woodtv.com, and of course on Daybreak first thing in the morning we'll have a full wrap. We are reporting live in Grand Rapids. Leon Hendricks, 24-Hour News 8.
All right, thank you, Leon. And we have some more breaking news right now. This is in Wyoming. A large power outage is impacting more than 3,000 homes and businesses. This is right near 28th Street and US 131. Consumers Energy is telling us that they hope to have power restored by 1 o'clock in the morning.
We're also following breaking news out of Washington tonight. A second woman now accusing Supreme Court Justice nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault. The claim is from 1983, Kavanaugh's freshman year at Yale. The New Yorker has identified the woman as 53-year-old Deborah Ramirez. Kavanaugh denies the event ever happened. He's also been accused of misconduct by Christine Blasey Ford when they were in high school. Ford and Kavanaugh are both set to testify Thursday. More fallout is expected overnight. We'll have updates. Look for them beginning tomorrow morning on Daybreak. New tonight, we have learned the names of the Kent County couple that was found dead inside of their home near Sand Lake over the weekend.
Property records we obtained identify the victims as James Cole and Lisa Bradley. The murder suspect killed himself after taking his wife and young children hostage and then refusing to come out of a Wyoming apartment. 24-Hour News 8's Marvis Herring is at that apartment tonight with the latest.
Earlier this evening, I spoke to a relative of the victims. She told me that Jim Cole and Lisa Bradley had been together for over a decade. The tragic news of their death is devastating to many in that Sand Lake, Cedar Springs area, but also many people here at the Ramblewood Apartments. This is where things ended yesterday.
I remember it was like, you need to leave now.
When Sean Kelly heard those words from officers dressed in tactical gear, he knew something serious was going on inside his building.
You knew there were police around, but you couldn't see them. And as we were leaving, like, they were all hunkered down, and it was like, oh, this is kind of scary because we were just in there.
A few minutes went by before Kelly learned what was going on.
Right above us.
A murder suspect refusing to come out of this apartment directly above his.
It's a little scary, you know, they have combat rifles, they're fully decked out in bulletproof gear, you know, have the helmets on and everything, so it's a little nerve-wracking.
This is where the investigation began Saturday. A family member found Lisa Bradley and James Cole dead inside this home in Spencer Township. Neighbors say these country roads and open fields are usually a homestead for peace. Many of them still tearful today as they wrap their heads around this double murder. That shock can be felt 40 miles south at the Ramblewood Apartments in Wyoming.
It's a very big shock to everyone who lives here, so it kind of bleeds through the, original barriers of like who it's affecting. Kind of crazy to think that you don't know who your neighbors are.
And neighbors we spoke with in the Sand Lake area today described the couple as helpful and well liked by many in the farming community. As far as the suspect, police haven't released much information on him, but we do expect to learn more details on this investigation tomorrow. In Wyoming, Marvis Herring, 24-Hour News 8.
And a live look over Rosa Parks Circle and the Media Arts Center in downtown Grand Rapids tonight. A perfect weekend to get downtown and enjoy a little of Art Prize 10.
Certainly. And what will the start of the work week look like? Storm Team 8 meteorologist Kyle Underwood is here with our forecast tonight. Hey, Kyle.
Marley and Brian, what a wonderful start to Art Prize this first weekend going down without any weather problems. First weekend of fall, by the way, too. And we'll keep this going tomorrow. In fact, we'll crank up the thermostat by a couple of degrees tomorrow, and it's going to be a bit on the humid side, especially in the afternoon. Look for high temp around 76. Then a front rolls through here on Tuesday. Mild, I was about to say warm, but mild and a little bit on the humid side. Thunderstorms likely here, especially later in the day. And we've got a shot at some of those thunderstorms being strong to severe. Right now on Storm Track Live, not a lick of moisture out there. We are dry, it's clear. But once we get into Tuesday, we've got a marginal risk of severe weather here, the area in green. So this includes Grand Rapids and Lansing and Holland, Muskegon and White Cloud, and then Kalamazoo to Lansing and this line to the south. This is a slight risk for severe weather, so we bump it up a notch and we could see some strong straight line winds with thunderstorms. Again, the risk is small, but it does exist as the changing air masses move through. Right now, 56 in Grand Rapids, 58 here in Kalamazoo, 62 now in Holland. This morning's low temp was 45, one of the coldest we've seen since the middle of last May. Today we hit 71 for a high, so that's a pretty big swing from nighttime low to afternoon high temperature. This day in 2017, we actually hit 96 degrees here in Grand Rapids 1 year ago today. No warmth like that in the 8-day forecast. In fact, we're going to cool off, and I'll show you that coming up.
All right, we'll see in a bit. Thank you, Kyle. The victim of a brutal beating in downtown Grand Rapids was especially vulnerable. Grand Rapids police have already arrested a 21-year-old suspect in this case, but they're still looking for these three all-black men in their 20s who hang out in Hartside.
New tonight and only on 8, the mother of the man who was punched and kicked tells 24-Hour News 8 Susan Samples why she feared this would happen and why the system designed to protect her son is failing.
He can walk from one end of town to the other, no problem.
He prefers to wander at night.
Very scared for him, because I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know where he's at half the time.
Late on a recent Wednesday, he roamed from his home with his mom in southeast Grand Rapids to Rosa Parks Circle downtown, where he ran into thugs who did what his mom had always feared.
His face is a mess.
The other injuries to his face too disturbing to show.
He got abrasions everywhere. Cut his ear.
We're not identifying the 34-year-old victim who we found through court records. He's expected to recover physically, but there's no long-term cure for the mental health challenges that put him and others like him at risk in the first place.
They're just wandering, or they're talking nonstop, or they're instigating stuff that they don't have no control of what the behavior is.
Grand Rapids police haven't revealed a motive, what could have possibly prompted the group to beat the man repeatedly in the head and face. But the victim's mom thinks her son, who sometimes gets verbally aggressive when he's off his meds, may have said something that set the group off.
They maybe thought he was threatening, but he's not.
Court records document the 34-year-old's long struggle with schizoaffective and bipolar disorders. Doctors report he can be threatening without his meds, but there's no evidence he's ever acted out physically. He's a client already of community mental health, but since his diagnosis at 17, his mom and others have repeatedly petitioned to have him involuntarily committed, only to have him get back out and off the meds time and again. He's been found wandering downtown in his underwear, trespassing also on property he claims to own.
I think there are more families than we know that are struggling around this.
Mike Reagan works at Cherry Health, a nonprofit care provider for underserved populations.
We want people to have the right, as an individual, to live to the optimum level that they possibly can in the community. That's their right.
Reagan acknowledges the system is far from perfect, with gaps that people most at risk sometimes fall through. But there are safety nets too, like the petitions for court-ordered assessments and hospitalization.
What if that doesn't work again and again and again?
You try it again and again and again. Where do we ration care around some other chronic conditions? When do we stop providing treatment to someone with a heart condition?
This mom just wishes her son's treatment included longer-term care at a facility that can keep him safe.
Thank God it wasn't worse than what it is. Just every day you have to pray and hope for the best. And hope somebody out there cares enough to help.
I'm Target 8 investigator Susan Samples.
We are connecting the victim's mom with additional resources, including an agency that acts as guardians for people with mental illness. Also, the National Alliance for Mental Health coordinates family-to-family support groups in cities around the country, including here in Grand Rapids.
An adult foster home fire took 2 lives on Grand Rapids West Side early Saturday morning. Tonight, we're hearing from the family of one of those victims. They're telling us the 19-year-old went back in to try and save his friend.
And 24-hour News 8's Heather Walker spoke with a family today who described the young man as a hero.
Knowing that he could have lived and didn't just makes it a lot harder.
Gregory Kohlenbrander found out he lost his younger brother, Michael, when his dad called Saturday morning.
And I said okay and hung up, and I just started bawling my eyes out.
Just 1 year apart, the brothers were adopted together as babies.
I don't really think of him as a brother. I think of him as my best friend.
Michael had been living at the adult foster home on Whitcomb Street since January. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. It's believed to have started at the front of the home. Michael's friend, who he tried to save, was a 62-year-old man who was on the 2nd floor. A 3rd victim was taken to the hospital in fair condition. A total of 12 people made it out alive, despite the fact that investigators say it appears the smoke detectors did not go off.
Smoke detectors, those should be checked once every couple of weeks, at least by the owners.
Gregory hopes this is a learning lesson for the home and adds that he doesn't want people to dwell on the death of his brother.
Dwell on the fact that while he was alive, he was a great kid. He had a big heart. He'd give you the shirt right off his own back.
That was Heather Walker reporting. According to the fire chief, the home had a hardwired system, but despite a check in June, investigators are not sure if it worked. We do have more information on the investigation and reaction from the home's owner at woodtv.com. We are staying on top of breaking news on Grand Rapids Northeast Side. Police on Leonard Street blocked off near Emerald Avenue as they're searching for a man with a gun. We'll take you back live to the scene coming up.
Well, that was not the Lions team we expected tonight. A major upset in prime time over the New England Patriots. We're live at Ford Field with how the Lions were able to pull that one off and post-game reaction.
Fall arrives on the calendar in perfect timing. It feels like fall here in West Michigan. We have a fairly cool 8-day forecast coming up after the break.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
The Lions tonight with a pretty substantial win over the Patriots, and everybody around here is trying to pretend like they weren't super surprised by it. Larry Fagursky is going to be live on Ford Field for us coming up in a few minutes. And you know, we journalists are supposed to keep our opinions to ourselves, but we always give Larry a pass on this because he gets so excited with the Lions. And yeah, man, big win tonight, and it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. And looking forward to seeing how big that smirk on his face is. Well deserved, though. Great win tonight by the Lions, and we'll have live coverage from Ford Field coming up in a few minutes. Temperatures as of late pretty warm, but we have cooled off, and this marks the switch of seasons for West Michigan. I think we are done with the 90s until 2019. We're embarking on a fairly cool stretch here in West Michigan, and you know, next Saturday is October 1st. When you get into this time of year, early October, it's pretty tough to repeat temperatures like this. And so we can pretty safely say we're done with the really hot weather, although we do have a little bit of warmth and humidity in the forecast for tomorrow. Tonight, temperatures fall back in the low 50s, so that'll be about 7 degrees warmer than we were this morning. It was 45 in Grand Rapids here early Sunday morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mid to upper 70s, and it'll be more humid, so it's going to feel a little sticky out there. About a 20% chance of a sprinkle or shower, but the better chance for storms and heavier rain holds off until Tuesday. Cold front, you can see it here where we go from the 60s to the 40s, and we actually had some light snow in parts of southwestern Ontario. This part of southwestern Ontario near Atikokan. So just a sign that, you know, the seasons mean business here. Tonight, Storm Track Live, still some snow falling way up here at the top of the screen across the international boundary. We are totally high and dry here in West Michigan. We'll stay that way here for most of tomorrow. Severe weather risk on Tuesday. This is as that cold front rolls through. Best chance of storms going to come in the late afternoon and evening, and then into very early Wednesday morning. We're talking like before sunrise. Let's take a look at the futurecast here. We're starting Monday afternoon, could see a couple of sprinkles or showers, and then Tuesday, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the morning, but watch the front roll in. This is Tuesday evening. This is where we have the chance of seeing some storms that could produce some strong straight line winds. More humid for tomorrow, but still pleasant. 76 here on Monday. For Tuesday, an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms. A lot of these come late in the day. 76 here, kind of sticky, but we cool off as we get into Wednesday. Mid-60s here, partly cloudy for Thursday and Friday. Temperatures in the mid-60s here for the second weekend of fall and second weekend of Art Prize on Saturday with partly cloudy skies and a chance of showers coming up here on Sunday.
Kyle, thank you. We do want to get you an update now on that breaking news on the northeast side of Grand Rapids.
That's right. This is happening near Leonard and Emerald. Police had closed off that area just before we came on the air tonight.
And 24-hour News 8's Leon Hendricks is there live again with an update. Leon?
Brian and Marley, good evening to both of you. Yes, the situation appears to have resolved at this point. An officer just let us know that the suspect is in custody. They had been out here for some time here on the northeast side of near Leonard Street and Emerald Avenue. They'd been searching for someone who reportedly had a gun in the area. We heard police yelling for someone to come out of this apartment, and apparently their efforts were successful. The suspect, we're told, is in custody. Leonard Street will be reopening, and the situation appears to be resolved. That's the latest from here. We are live. Leon Hendricks, 24-hour News 8.
All right, thank you, Leon. Tonight, the Lions proved a lot of people wrong. They smoked Tom Brady and the New England Patriots.
Boy, did they. We're fanning down Larry Figursky. We're going to go live to Ford Field when we return on your 24-hour News 8 live from the Media Arts Center in downtown Grand Rapids.
What a crazy Sunday this turned into in the NFL. A lot of big underdogs pulled off impressive upsets, and the Lions joined the party tonight on national TV at Ford Field. Take you out there for the highlights of this. Matt Patricia looking for his first win as a head coach against his former team. And boy, it sure helps when you get a running game. Kerryon Johnson, big run, that'll set this up. Matt Stafford to Kenny Golladay. He crosses the plane. Now, the arms of the official did not go up, so Matt Patricia throws the challenge flag about 50 yards. I think he's got as good an arm as Matt Stafford. Look at this thing. He just fires it. Refs finally rule it a touchdown, and the Lions had a 10-0 lead. Then 13-3 at the half. Second half, Stafford picked off. He had his guy open, threw under instead of over. Patriots on the other end, Brady to James White, and suddenly it's a 13-10 game. Lions fans going, uh-oh. Yeah, but the Lions have an answer. They come back. Stafford to Marvin Jones. Hits him in stride. 33-yard touchdown. A 10-play drive, and the Lions had a 20-10 lead. Then the defense does the rest. Brady picked off by Darius. Big play Slay. The Lions defeat the New England Patriots at Ford Field 26-10 is your final score. For more on the win, we take you live to Ford Field, where a very happy Larry Figursky joins us live. Larry, what did we just witness?
Well, a couple of things we haven't seen in a long, long time, Jack. First and foremost, a stout defense, even against the run, which has been gone all season long. They held the Patriots to 3 3-and-outs to open the game, and then Tom Brady to just 133-yard passing on the night. But most importantly, a rushing attack. Kerryon Johnson becoming the first Lion since Thanksgiving of 2013. That's an NFL-long 70 games to rush for 100 yards in a single game.
And you get a reaction like that from, your teammates, the crowd. I mean, this was something that was important for everybody, the linemen, all of you, wasn't it?
Yeah, like you said, the crowd, teammates. It's rare that you see other guys that excited for something. They were more excited than I was, and that just goes to show what we have in our running back room and on this Detroit Lions team is we all want to see each other shine because we realize that helps us all win.
It is a win that can be a springboard, can't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Any win could be a springboard. You get that first, you never know. You can rattle off as many as you want, and you can use it as a reference in the future to come back and see how you can play. Now we know, all those question marks. Now we know, hey, we can run the ball like we've always thought we can do.
It was good. Our fans needed it. Shout out to the fans because it was awesome tonight. Had a crowd live. But we needed it as a team and as a family, as Lions. So just came out here. Just what our goal was is to come out here and just dominate and keep fighting. We know we're a good team, but we just got to keep putting pieces together.
Defense was incredible. Stopping the run, stopping the pass, really just frustrating their offense, doing a nice job. And our guys up front, man, dominated. That was a fun thing for me to watch, handing the ball off and those guys gashing through there, a bunch of yards on the ground. Made a couple plays in the air. Guys went up and made some great plays, and it was a total team win.
Boy, and that's what they needed to pull this one off tonight, Jack. We talked at 6 o'clock, a season perhaps saving victory if they can pull it off tonight, and more importantly, a little faith in the new coaching and the new system, and that's what it felt like in the locker room tonight. Very joyous Lions locker room. I'm telling you, really happy Ford Field. Lions right back in the division race and perhaps treading in the right direction now 2 weeks in a row. Live at Ford Field in Detroit, Larry Figursky, 24-hour News 8.
Hey, Larry, well, we've got you there. Only 5 teams have ever come back from an 0-2 record and made the playoffs. Yep. The Patriots now 1-2, first time since 2012, and it's the first time since 2015 they've lost back-to-back games. Now, I was at that Jets game on opening night, and the crowd turned on the Lions pretty quickly. How big of a lift did they give that team tonight?
Oh, a huge lift. And I was here that Monday night just as a fan in the stands as well, Jack, and it was pretty depressing. But I think it was the great start that the Lions had that really got the fans into the game. They started believing in them, and it was running the ball again. I mean, they were cheering 4- and 5-yard runs here like they were 30-yard pass plays. They knew the importance of getting a running game together. The fans got it going, and as Darius Slay said, they really lifted this team. And by the end of the night, it was a pretty joyous building. And a lot of good things here happened when we thought maybe this could be the end of a season. Pretty fun night in Detroit.
All right, Larry, honest answer. Were you one of the ones booing at that Jets game when things really went poorly?
I was a little disappointed at times. Yeah, in all honesty, it might have been the yes. In all honesty, it might have been the most disappointing game that I have been to. There's your answer from Joe Alicio. But you stick by your team, as you know. I always stick by that team. It's been 50 years now, so you're only a faithful fan if you're a Lions fan after 50 years. But some hope here tonight, Jack, moving forward.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. See you back here in Grand Rapids. Let's check in on the rest of the NFC North right now. And there's a new sheriff in town, at least for tonight. Chicago Bears. Jordan Howard, 1-yard touchdown run. Bears were trailing 14-3, now it's 14-10. And that defense, especially with the addition of Khalil Mack, look out. Mack, the sack, is second of the game, forces the fumble. Bears recover, and it leads to the go-ahead field goal. Bears win 16-14. They are 2-1 and now lead the division. And here's why. This was supposed to be a gimme for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, except the Bills, who were winless and horrible the first 2 weeks, had other ideas. Rookie Josh Allen, opening drive, 10-yard touchdown run. The Bills forced 3 Kirk Cousins turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception. Bills beat the Vikings 27-6. Rough day for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. They lost on the road at Washington. Alex Smith, they brought him in to replace Kirk Cousins. Well, Smith going to hook up with Paul Richardson here, a 46-yard touchdown. The Redskins beat the Packers. Final score 31-17. And so now we've got 3 teams in the division with 1 victory. All right, to the links we go, where now you can say he's back. Tiger Woods is back in the winner's circle, ended a 5-year winless drought by winning the Tour Championship this afternoon. Tiger had a 3-shot lead when he teed off, and he built on it right away. First hole birdie putt, knocks it down to get the 13 under par. He just kind of muddled along, was 12 under at 13, then a 142-yard approach, puts that within 15 feet. And then Tiger steps up, makes that birdie putt to get back to 13 under, built a 5-shot lead. Here's one of those sights you'll never forget. Walking up 18, look at the crowd surround Tiger Woods. Pretty amazing scene. He taps in for his first win in 5 years. Tiger Woods wins the Tour Championship.
It's certainly up there with obviously all the major championships I've won, players, World Golf Championships. But this is under different circumstances, you know. I've explained throughout the year that I just didn't know whether, you know, when this would ever happen again.
Pretty amazing scene there. Major League Baseball, only 1 week remaining, Tigers fans. Then this season mercifully comes to an end. Tigers lose their final home game to the Kansas City Royals. Alberto Mondesi, solo home run early, gets the Royals out to a 1-0 lead. First and third now, Nick Castellanos sac fly. That'll drive in a run, his 85th RBI of the year, and this game was tied 1-1. Sixth inning, Cam Gallagher, 2 on, 2 out, and he's going to loop one into left. 2 Tigers after it, they can't get to it, drops in, 2-run score, Kansas City. They were up 3-1 at that point, and this is Alex Reyes, Victor Reyes, robbed by Alex Gordon. There you go. Tigers lose. Final score 3-2. They hit the road to close it out. Cubs a winner, and now their magic number is down to 5. But boy, that Lions needed that win.
Yeah, they did. And a couple of big division rivals falling today.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Why? Hey, they're in contention.
They're 1-2 only.
We're back talking playoffs.
Wow, unreal.
Yes, well, take it easy.
Right,
Okay.
One step at a time. Kyle will be right back with one more look at your forecast.
Our fairly uneventful weather continues tonight and tomorrow. There's about a 15 or 20% chance of a sprinkle or shower Monday afternoon, but the real rain comes in on Tuesday, especially in the afternoon. Cold front. We could see some thunderstorms, which could briefly produce heavy rain, and some strong straight line winds before we cool off Wednesday, partly cloudy, 64. And next weekend, last couple of days of September, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s.
Oh, not too bad at all. I like it when I hear you say uneventful weather will continue.
Yeah, there's been enough crazy weather lately. Let's take a break here.
Certainly. Have a great night.